as indicators which help us identify what are acids and what are bases. Under indicators, we studied few examples which the color change tells us about acids and base. Then we spoke about domestic indicators, how to prepare natural indicators at home. And after all that, we also studied how litmus paper changes its color. And as far as I remember, in the last class, we were studying about the chemical definition of acid, which we had studied, stating that acids are those substances which gives H plus ions in the solution state. Do you remember that? H plus ions in the solution state. HCl dissociates in water to give us H plus ions and Cl minus. Ashish, will you stop that, please? Annotations. See, you all know that I know the names of the students who are doing it. Why do you force me to throw you out of the class? Please stop that. Thank you. Yes, I can block the annotations, but I think the students whom I am catering to are not a kindergarten kids who don't listen to their teacher or who are not aware of what they're doing. So I don't think there is a need for your teacher to stop the annotations. Beforehand only you can stop doing that, isn't it? But every lecture, until and unless your teacher doesn't block the annotations, you'll still be trying your hands on. I'm pretty sure now also many students will be trying to scribble the screen, thinking that let's check whether the teacher has done or not. What fun is that? What kind of fun is that? Can you please explain? All right, let's not waste time and quickly start with the chapter now. In the last class, if you remember, we were studying about the chemical definition of acids, which told us that acids when dissolved in water gives us H plus ions. HCl when dissociates in water, that is HCl aqueous, gives us H plus aqueous and Cl minus aqueous, isn't it? Hydrogen ions and chloride ions. After that, we also studied about few acids that we are using in our daily life, which are edible to us. And we studied the examples here of vinegar, orange, tamarind, tomato, curd, lemon. Till here we have completed in the last class. Everybody, do you remember all these? Yes, you need to answer me to make me understand that you all are listening to me. All right, thank you so much. Now we'll move ahead and understand what are the properties of acids today. Under properties of acids, one thing we already know that acids are sour in taste. We also know that now from the definition or from the reaction which we have conducted, acids contain molecule H plus ion as the main constituent. And we have to remember one thing, acids react with metals. Acids react with metals to form hydrogen gas. Remember this? This is the reaction which you're just studying theoretically now. In the next academic year, you're also going to study the chemical reaction. You'll also get a chance to perform these reactions. Acids react with metals. For example, metal can be anything like magnesium, aluminium, calcium. They react with hydrochloric acid to liberate hydrogen gas. And acids react with carbonates. Carbonates are the carbonates have the formula CO3. Carbonates have the formula CO3. So acids react with carbonates and liberate carbon dioxide gas. And we also know acids turn blue litmus red. Isn't the properties very simple? Come on, quickly, everyone repeat after me. Everyone, you have to be repeating the definitions, please, because these properties are very simple and they're usually asked in the exam. Come on, everyone. First point, acids are sour in taste. Second point, acid molecules contain H plus, that is hydrogen ion, as the main constituent. Third point, acids react with metals to form hydrogen gas. Acids react with metals to form hydrogen gas. Very good. More louder. Fourth point, acids react with carbonates and liberates carbon dioxide gas. Acids react with carbonates and liberate carbon dioxide gas. And blue litmus turns red in acid. Blue litmus turns red in acid. Is there any confusion about properties of acids? It's a very simple one. Let me see who is able to answer this now. Who is the first one to give me any first point of acids properties? Come on, tell me. Who's going to give me the first point quickly? Anyone? Acids are sour in taste. Very good. Omkar, Nishita, very good. Second point. Ambril, nice. Shreya, Deepika. Second point. Okay, Deven, blue litmus turns red in acid. All right. Next point. Come on, quickly. Let me see who are able to remember this. If you take so much time, that means you are seeing the textbook and answering. First point, we've got acids are sour in taste. Acids turn blue litmus red. Very good, Sneha. Acid is a hydrogen containing substance. Very good. कहाँ से निकाला इतना? Acid reacts with metal to give hydrogen gas. Very good, Gorang. Acids, yes, Tanishka, right. Acids react with metal to form hydrogen gas. What does it else react with? Which more substance? You have written this, Neha. Very good. Okay, Elisha, blue litmus turns red in acid. There is one more thing which the acids react with to give out some gas. Okay, Vedant, acids are soluble in water, correct? Very good, Deepika. Acids react with carbonates. Acids react with carbonates to liberate what? To liberate what? Carbonates से react करके क्या liberate करेगा? CO2, that is carbon dioxide. Very nice. Very good. Okay, out of 67 students, you know, hardly 10 to 18 students are answering my questions. Thank you so much to all those students who are answering to your teacher. Very good. So we have done with the properties of acids. Now let us see what are the uses of acids. Acids are used in usually production of chemical fertilizers. Acids are used in production of explosives, oil purification, medicines, dyes, and paints. Hydrochloric acid is used for the preparation of different types of chloride salts. Sulfuric acid, it is written DIL, which means it's dilute sulfuric acid. I hope we know the difference between dilute and concentrated. We know the difference between dilute and concentrated, isn't it? Do you know the difference? What's the difference between dilute and concentrated? Dilute means it is mixed with water, and concentrated means the pure form of acid. They're used in batteries, that is electric cell, and dilute acid is used for sterilization of water. Acids are also used for making white paper from the wood pulp. The dilute is the short form DIL. Dilute is a short form DIL for dilute acids. Just a minute. So did you all repeat? Yes or no? No, na? No problem. Chalo, let's repeat together. Everyone, what are the uses of acids? Acids are used in the production of chemical fertilizers. Acids are also used in the production of explosives, oil purification, medicines, dyes, and paints. Hydrochloric acid is used in the preparation of different types of chloride salts. Dilute sulfuric acid, which is dilute H2SO4, is used in batteries, that is electric cell. Dilute HCl, which is hydrochloric acid, is used for sterilization of water. Acid is used for making white paper from wood pulp. Is the points clear to everyone? See, there is not much of understanding here. There's a lot of learning. So if you repeat a lot, it will get stuck in your mind. It will get strictly registered in your mind. So it will be good for you people if you repeat after your teacher. Not only the teacher is only shouting. I am sitting in my room and shouting on top of my voice. I hope all my students are doing that. And I'll show you a little later, all right? We'll just move ahead for now. No, you don't have to write because it is there in the textbook and nicely given. It is directly given in the textbook as properties of acids and the uses of acids. Along with that, we also need to know something, students, that is about the concentrated acids and the harmful effects. That is the causicity of concentrated acid and base. Sterilization means you're going to disinfect it. Right? And you know the disinfecting ka meaning hota hai removing or killing any kind of life forms which are present, especially microorganisms or bacteria. So it is removing all that. So now let's talk about causicity of concentrated acids and bases. You know what? When we have studied about acid, we also know there is concentrated acid and there is dilute acid. I said concentrated acid is the one which is pure form, or dilute wo hota hai jisme we are going to mix water. but it is not very easy to mix water in concentrated acid. Dissolution of concentrated sulfuric acid, which is H2SO4, in water generates large amount of heat. You can't simply just add acid to water and water to acid. There's a small procedure which we need to follow. So for dilution of concentrated acid, it is necessary that we slowly add it to water. We slowly add it to water. Never add water in the concentrated sulfuric acid. We are going to take water in a test tube. We are going to take water in a test tube first, and with the help of another test tube, slowly from the corners, we are going to add the acid. Because if you add it at one go, if you first take the acid and then add water, it will produce enormous amount of heat which will lead to explosion. That means breaking of the test tube. So we need to follow this protocol that for making dilute acids, you will first take water in the test tube and then slowly from the side of the test tube, you're going to add the acid so that it does not create the exothermic reaction. Exothermic means where heat is given out. Did you all understand? And alkali is like sodium hydroxide. Alkali means bases. The other word for bases is an alkali. Alkalis or bases like sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide are also very strong. See, even though they are base, doesn't mean that they are not harmful. They are also causing burning and burning to the skin, just like the acids do. Sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide specifically are strong and they are caustic in nature. Caustic means they can cause burning to your skin. Their concentrated solution burns skin. It decomposes the proteins in the skin. So don't be under the impression that when I say acids, that is the only one which are dangerous. Strong bases are equally dangerous to all of us. Did you all understand this about mixing of acid, how to prepare a dilute acid? Yes, everyone? Till here is the concept clear? I hope I am not going fast. Everything is clear to you all. Yes, my dear students, are you all listening to me? Okay, thank you, Devi, and thank you, Nishita. Now, moving ahead, we need to know we have some mineral acids in our body which are harmful. However, several organic acids are present in our body which are also useful to us, like the DNA, RNA. We also know that the acid is present in our body which is used for digestion. You know what is the acid present in our body? Do you know which acid is present in our body which is used for digestion of food? Anybody? Very good, Deepika. Hydrochloric acid is present in our body, which is used for digestion of food. So proteins which are a part of our body cells are also made up of amino acids. These all are acids only, but the only difference is they are not harmful to our skin, but they're definitely useful for us. And fat of our body is also formed from fatty acids. This is a small piece of information about acids. Let's move on to the next topic, which is called as bases. Here I'm showing you a few examples of bases like sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide, magnesium hydroxide, and ammonium hydroxide. What do we observe a common term in all of the four things? What is common in all of the four things? Hydroxide, very good. So can I tell that bases are the ones which contains hydroxide. Hydroxide means hydrogen and oxygen. So bases are the ones which contain this hydroxide which is OH minus. जैसे acids के अंदर कौन present है H plus. Bases के अंदर कौन present है OH minus. So let's talk about these bases now. Base or alkali, both is the same thing. Base or alkali both mean the same. Base is a substance whose water solution gives us hydroxide ion, which is OH minus. Let's take one example. NaOH. NaOH, that is sodium hydroxide. At the bracket, I have written AQ. Please, students, be attentive. I have written AQ, which is indicating it is aqueous. When I dissociate in water, it gives me these two ions, Na plus and OH minus. NaOH stands for sodium hydroxide. Na plus stands for sodium ions and OH minus stands for hydroxide ions. So this is the second definition of base, that is a chemical definition. Come on, everyone, repeat. Base is a substance whose water solution, that means which when dissolved in water, gives us hydroxide ion, which is OH minus. And how will I write it? NaOH aqueous will give me Na plus NOH minus. Quickly, I want everyone to write this in your notebook, the definition of base along with the equation. Quickly do it, please. Are you all writing? Yes, have you finished writing? It's a very small thing. While writing, please learn. Riya, will you please switch off your video? Why is it switched on? Only Tanishka and Nishita, I hope I've spelled your name correctly. Nishita is writing. Yes, Ambril, you are also replying. Why should I forget your name? Atharva, Ramandeep, Deven, Nilisha. Thank you, students, for cooperating with your teacher. Because I know you might be tired with this online thing. Like you were desperate to go to the classes, go to school. The same thing. Same thing, your teachers are also waiting for the classes to start. We also want you to meet your people. We also want to have some fun. Have you all done? Only 10 students have told me they have finished writing out of the 70 students sitting in my class. I don't know, Chandan. Okay, so now the replies are coming. Very good. So now let's read the definition once again. What are bases? Base is a substance whose water solution gives us hydroxide ion. Hydroxide means OH minus. And here I take the example of NaOH, which when dissolved in water gives me Na plus and OH minus. Very good. Just a minute. Now, here you all can see the table where I have got few acids, their formula and their uses. Did you even know that sodium hydroxide is the base which is present in our washing soap? Sodium hydroxide, the common name of sodium hydroxide is caustic soda, which is NaOH, is present, is used as washing soap. Potassium hydroxide, which is a potash, KOH, is present in shampoo or soaps. Calcium hydroxide, very important these common names are, because next year and this year also in the next chapter we are going to use these common names while doing reaction. Calcium hydroxide, which is lime water. It is not lemon juice, it is called as lime water. There's a difference. If I say lime juice, means I'm talking about the juice which is coming out from that lime, that is nimbu. But this is lime water, which is chemically called as calcium hydroxide, CaOH twice. Is usually used for whitewashing. Magnesium hydroxide, which is also called as milk of magnesia, that is MgOH twice. It is an acidity resistant medicine which is called as antacid. Can you give me an example of an antacid? Apart from milk of magnesia, what is the most common antacid is used by everyone? First of all, did you understand the meaning of an antacid? Antacid means which is curing the acidity in your body. And what is the substance that we use to cure acidity in our body? Very good, Omkar. Baking soda. Very good, Amril. Eno. The common name is Eno, which is containing this baking soda. You know what's the formula of baking soda? Anybody knows the formula? What's the chemical name of baking soda? It is sodium bicarbonate. Baking soda is also called as sodium bicarbonate. So we all know when there is acidity in our body. See, when there is acidity in our body, People usually tell us to take ENO, or we have definitely seen in advertisement that we are supposed to take ENO if we get acidity. So that acid in our body which is present because of the acid which is used for digestion. Abhi acidity दोन reason से हो सकता है. Sometimes when there is, you go to a restaurant, you eat a lot because you love your favorite food, pav bhaji, pizza, burger, or a pasta, whatever it is. So you order your favorite food, you eat a lot of food because the acid present in the body is used for digestion. You eat a lot, so more acid is produced in the body for digesting that food. So that is why we come across this term called as acidity. Similarly, sometimes when you're starving, when you're empty stomach, when you've not had anything, still the body is going to produce the acid to digest the food. So there you might have heard people saying that I have not had anything, still I am facing acidity, right? Usually parents, because it happens in an elderly age group, when you don't eat anything for a long period of time, you still face acidity problem because the acid is there in the body, which is used for digestion, which is not being used up. So to cure that acid, I am going to add something which is a base. The base can be in the form of that ENO, which is containing baking soda, or it can be in the form of milk of magnesia. So when acid and base combine together, they react together and make the solution neutral. So they produce salt and water, because of which it cures our acidity. And there is one more, ammonium hydroxide. Ammonium is NH4, hydroxide is OH. It is used for production of fertilizers. Everybody understood this? And let me tell you, don't be under the impression that bases are not harmful or toxic to our body. They're definitely dangerous. We cannot easily taste, touch, or inhale them only if they're strong bases, specifically sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide. Ammonium hydroxide, milk of magnesia, these all are weak bases. Yes, sometimes acidity do lead to heart attack. Excessive acidity can definitely take us to hospital. Did you all understand about the base and what are the names of the bases and how they are useful to us? What is the other name of base called as? What is the other name of base? Alkali. Alkaline is the solution. Alkali is the other name of base. What is the important ingredient present in the base? What is the important ingredient present in the base? Which is the main content, student? How will I know that OH minus? Very good. OH minus. Will it show its behavior OH minus as it is, or should I dissolve it in water, or in the presence of water it is going to show us? Yes, in the presence of water, in the absence of water. Acids and bases will show their behavior. No, you cannot say it's a dilute state. You have to say it is in the presence of water. All right. You're going to say it is in the presence of water. Very good. Now tell me, acids are sour to taste. Bases are bitter to taste. So with this, all these points, we are making the properties of alkalis, which are my bases. Alkali, that is my basis, has a bitter taste. They are slippery to touch. They contain OH minus as the main constituent, and metal oxides are usually alkaline in nature. Basic in nature or alkaline in nature. What do I mean to say when I say metal oxides are basic in nature? First of all, tell me, did you understand what's a metal oxide? Did you all understand what's a metal oxide? No, alkali and base are the same thing. It's just another term used for a base. Can you give me an example of a metal oxide? Come on, give me an example of metal oxide. If you can't think of, split the term and think. Metal and oxygen. Tell me an example of a metal. Iron, very good. Iron is a metal. When iron combines with oxygen, I get iron oxide. So iron oxide becomes a metal oxide. Did you all understand how to give examples? It's only one example, you know. Only one example you know about metal oxide. Sodium oxide, copper oxide. Very good, Gaurang. Very good, Amberil. Very nice. Potassium oxide, aluminium oxide, Nishita. Very nice. calcium oxide. These are examples of metals. When they combine with oxygen, we get metal oxides, which are generally basic in nature. When I say basic in nature, that means they're already a base. They're already a base. Can I say a metal oxide is being base? Just a metal oxide का example हमने लिया iron oxide. Does it contain OH in them? Does it contain OH? Does my iron oxide contain OH? No. So if it is not containing an OH, how can I call it as a base? Are you understanding my point? If it is not containing OH, how can I call it as a base? So when I say that metal oxides are generally basic in nature, that means they behave as a base in certain chemical reactions. They behave as a base in certain reactions, even though they do not contain these OH minus ions. They react with the acids and give us a neutral reaction of salt and water. Is it clear, everyone? Are the properties of alkalis clear to everyone? So what are the properties of bases? They are bitter to taste, they are slippery, they contain OH minus as the main constituent, and they are generally basic in nature. All right. So with this, we have completed under acids and bases the main topic of acid and base. We have completed acids, we have completed bases, properties and uses. We've left with only a small topic of this chapter, which is neutralization, which I'll be doing in the next class. But please don't leave the meeting, as you have connected one more lecture today. I'll be doing the last part of the chapter, that is neutralization, in the next class. If in case you have any difficulty regarding this chapter and its questions, you can ask me in the next class. If not, after finishing that part of the chapter, that is introduction to acid and base, I'll move ahead with another chapter in the next class. Getting my point? In the next class, I'll be doing this chapter, finishing its part. If you have any difficulty, you can ask me. So for that, you will all have to learn the chapter and come. And in the next lecture, we'll be starting with a new chapter, that is chemical change and chemical bond. Is this chapter started in your school? Has this chapter started in your school? No. Okay. All right. But before that, please everyone go through this chapter. Any difficulties related to introduction to acid and base will be done in the next class. All right. So for now, we'll end our chemistry lecture here. And I think sir has already joined us. So he'll continue the lecture from here.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.